World of Tanks Upgrade 2.0 went into effect a few days ago. These are a few battles from around that time, just before and just after. I felt that there was a lot of rushing around and landslide victories, landslide defeats, a lot of steamrolling, a lot of crazy gameplay. Not all battles that I will show today are crazy. Many of them, however, were, whereas previously in the summer I had balanced battles. A few of the games will be a stacker. There'll be several games because some of them were really short. Despite the video being 1 hour, I don't know how many games. These are all I saved from the last week or so, but about 7 or 8 games. The best ones are at the end, I think, the most exciting and nail-biting ones, with some interesting moments, shall I say. The last 15 minutes of this video, if you don't want to watch everything, it's all SPGs. It's not that I've been playing only SPGs. I had saved a few other battles, a couple of other battles. They were just before the update, and then I didn't record them, and then the update came, and I couldn't record them anymore. They were out of date. So I had recorded a couple of SPG battles before the update, a couple of days before, and then the rest are from after the update. So we have Malinovka, one of the more open maps in the rotation. The battle started very cautiously. Nobody has died yet. We're a minute and a half into the battle, so that's promising. And that's one thing about the open maps. There are other battles where in the first 1.5 or 2 minutes, several players, 3 or 4, 5 or more players have died. So this is promising. So this is a tier 9 French SPG. It has a rotatable turret. It doesn't have big splash. It's a small shell that causes a little bit of damage, but it has a fairly fast-firing gun. So there I hit the concentration of the enemy heavies on the hill, caused damage to 2 enemy heavies, and the third one was damaged while it was still stunned. And so I already have more than 1,000, about 1,400 stun assist. Okay, that may also be a stun. Good. When you have hit like this one, you have stun assist, it shows that the team is on the ball. I have countless of battles where I'm shooting and shooting and shooting and shooting like this as fast as I can, and nothing happens. Nobody assists. They hide behind a rock or behind a building or something and hope that the enemy will go away. And it's quite frustrating. It's also cases where they will wait until the stun has gone and then shoot. But if you're going to wait like this, the enemy is shooting you, and they're shooting you when they're unstunned. I don't know if they do it out of comradeship for their heavy tank fellows on the opposite team. It could be the case. They don't do it for comradeship for their own team members like myself, though, if that's what they're doing. And the overall net effect is that they end up very often losing the battle. It's very rarely been the case where people were assisting me and we lost the battle. And you see some examples what happens when people assist me, how well the battle goes. So my feeling is there have been either a few new players have joined. That's quite possible, although I haven't really noticed any who are really brand new. or else the way people are playing has changed, or potentially. So potentially the matchmaker, the changes in the matchmaker make the thumbs up, thumbs down feature for balanced battles no longer working as intended, or as I was hoping it would. That was not a very good shot. I was well aimed, but... And when I miss, the splash is very small. Even when I hit with this SPG, I usually do between 100 and 200 HP damage, not a whole lot. That's a winged shot. Maybe we hit, maybe not, because this SPG reloads relatively fast and has a lot of shells compared to other SPGs. I'm not too careful with my shots. So that's my practice, so that's my tactic with this SPG. I'm mildly successful, not hugely successful. Oh, well, this time he wasn't so lucky. Previous time missed him, this time it was a kill. Direct penetration. And so we're winning 6-4. So it's not like a massive landslide or something. It's fairly balanced. We've got the hill, which is good, but we lost the area near the base. We have an enemy tank. An object, does it say object, I think, has managed to get fairly close to our base. How did he do that? Don't ask me. I was focusing on the hill. I don't know how he got there unscathed. So 223 damage on the Foch. So more than 200 is possible. Between, let's say, 150 and about 200 is the average per shot. As I said, real... Oh, that was a good one. Real DPM per battle for an SPG usually is around about 200, give or take the SPG, and more or less independent of tier. For tiers, let's say tier 8 to tier 10, because the higher tiers load more slowly. They hit harder but load more slowly. Real DPM, in a fairly good battle is about 200, which is not a whole lot. Here I missed completely, went off the map and into the sea or river, whatever it was there. Now we are definitely winning big time. We're 7.5 minutes into the battle, and the enemy has lost 2/3 of their team. That was a hit. No, it wasn't. It was a stun. Oh, it caused some damage. So it was a splash damage plus about 800 or so assists. So I've got a lot of assists in this battle already. Here it says over 4,000. For a battle that's about 7-8 minutes long, that's not too bad. Very fast paced in the second half of the battle. Wow, dying left, right, and center. And so you can see how we have a team that dominates the enemy, but they're assisting. They're not just sitting there. Every time you see players on your team just not assisting at all, the team, we're losing the game. It's like not always, but 4 out of 5 times. So that was an NA stacker, tier 9, with 5,800 XP, Bruiser and Confederate, and lots of missions finished, or things went well. Did I report? How did the team do? Okay, it was about 5th by damage, but among the top 3 by experience because of the stun assist I got. So thank you, team. That was good teamwork. Oh, I was top of my team. So it was good teamwork and a nice way to play and win. So I'll show you a few more examples of good teamwork. The best one is at the very end. So if you want, you can skip to near the end of the video. But this one was quite amazing. And I had a couple of other quite amazing ones, so you'll see them further down. So we're now at the Siegfried line. The 112A has become one of my favorite SPGs. When I started playing it, after about 20-25 battles, I had about 40% win rate. And I was disgusted and I decommissioned it, removed all the equipment and everything. But then I ran out of SPGs during the last battle pass. And I put the equipment back on, put the camo on, put the crew back, and I started playing a second time. And now it has become my best SPG. What was the difference? I'm not quite sure. Could have been the equipment. A lot of it, I think, has to do with some sort of sixth sense with SPGs. You have to shoot from so far that you do it like you're riding a motorbike or a bicycle or something. You see an enemy somewhere, if you play it enough times, you know how long your cell instinctively, you just somehow not know, but you some feel, you have a feel, how long will your cell get to reach a certain location, where do you think the enemy is going to be by then, depending whether it's whatever, a light tank or heavy or wherever they're going. And it takes some time. I think it takes several, like dozens of battles before you develop this sixth sense for an SPG, so you can fire these wing shots from miles away that take several seconds to reach there and still kind of hit. And that's how it happened with this one. But once you can kind of once your brain is used to how things work, like instinctively kind of respond to the enemy tanks and how they're moving, then you become successful with a tank that you were initially unsuccessful in. And I've said this before, but the difference between turreted tanks, most tanks really, and SPGs, this is going to be a hit, I think. It's going to be a hit. I somehow know it. It's the difference is that SPG players obviously don't get to use their hands a whole lot. The SPGs are slow, aiming is slow. There's no finesse to it. But the difficult part that other players don't have to deal with is to decide who to shoot where to affect the gameplay, because you have that option that other players don't have. That was the direct hit. Who to shoot where? So to change, if we're losing a flank, you try to support that flank. All things being equal, you shoot where there are like 2 or 3 enemy tanks together, so you have a greater chance to cause more damage and obviously stun as well. And this sort of strategic or tactical decisions you have to make all the time. You have to be looking at the map and seeing what everyone is doing, where the threats are, where the light tank is, for example, like this one here. If the light tank's being dangerous, so this guy's dealing with 2 enemy light tanks, so he's in a tough spot, so I wanted to support him. So this is the sort of, unfortunately I stunned my ally as well, my teammate. But this is the sort of way an SPG player plays, and really it's a more team-based gameplay. No matter what the babies complain about, you know, the teenagers who want to do well in the tanks and want to shoot everyone and have this first-person shooter sort of mentality. With SPGs, you're making strategic decisions for your team. You're really responsible for a lot. And although you cannot have a huge influence in the outcome of the battle, in terms of how much damage and how much stun you do, you know, or you win 8 and all those parameters, it's almost like pointless, and you cannot like hugely influence battles. You can influence them enough that a small percentage of cases the team wins because of the decisions the SPG player made. So that guy's dead, so killed the thing. Another one, was it not a kill? No, it wasn't a kill. But it's also going to be a good game, this one. I had more damage, less assist. You see, it was another landslide. Normally, I save only balanced battles, and I have plenty of those. But during this period, I had very few balanced battles. I had some. You see some. So that was a hit. Almost every time my shot lands where I want it, within like a few meters away. And how is this possible? Why wasn't it at the beginning? You know, it's weird. It's how much time you take. Here I'm expecting an enemy tank to come this way. I'm ready to shotgun him. The enemy light has, you know, the 2 enemy lights have taken the field and they've disappeared. One of them is still invisible. Okay, here's coming. Yeah, I stunned him, so I caused some damage. There's not a whole lot more I can do. Can I ram him? Oh. I'm fairly sure he shot me like a few centimeters before I rammed him. Let's see. Here I'm about to ram him. He shot me like whatever it was, 20 centimeters before my tank rammed him. He would be dead. What a shame. Well, maybe less than a meter away. Let's put it that way. Anyway. Light tanks are my specialty. As long as they're within range, you know, not too far away. So it was a victory, 14-6 so far, only 15-6. We're halfway through the battle, almost. That was a good battle. So the light tank is trying to carry the enemy light tank. He is vastly outnumbered. He's dead. He was rammed. Okay, possibly he was rammed. Whether before death or after, he was rammed somehow. Okay. So there was a third class with less stun, more damage. More than 2,000 damage, but less stun. And very little stun. So it's not that you cannot win. It's not like 100% whatever. I was 4th by experience, I think. It's not that you know the team doesn't win unless they do stun assist. No, that's not the case. It's just that if they don't do stun assist, 2 out of 3 battles at least are defeats. And that's definitely understating this. At least 2 out of 3 battles are defeats if the team is not stunning, is not assisting when I'm stunning. Okay, that was another interesting battle. Here I'm in a top tier Russian SPG, the 26 Object 261, and the Lake Baikal. Where's the Lake Baikal, or is there another lake? Forget. There's a lake near Kazakhstan, thereabouts. Near Uzbekistan, there was a lake there that almost dried up completely because of irrigation works. They used the water that was running into the lake for irrigation, and so the lake dried up. And this reminds me of some pictures of those lakes in Siberia, which were dried up, basically, and became ghost towns. So I suppose that's the idea behind this map. They had even ship rigging, whatever they're called, factories in those lakes. There was shipping from one side of the lake to the other. Well, huge lakes, inland seas, and at least one of them, I believe, has dried up completely because the water was flowing to the lake has been diverted into irrigation projects. Sorry. So I had already a hit on the left, and this is going to be a hit for 158 on the right. So the left is more precarious because we only really have one tank there, so I wanted to support the left. On the right we have 3 tanks, but since the enemy tank that I hit has run away, I no longer have a target on the left, I've switched my attention to the right and tried to support my teammates here who are under pressure. So 2 enemy tanks are putting pressure on our team, and here you see what is very annoying is that we have several tanks here, but they will not assist the guy who's under pressure. They just run away. Had they assisted him, he would have survived, and there you go. He would survive. They would have potentially killed someone. Instead of they left him to die. I see this so often. So the Leopard just ran away. You know, when I see this, it just drives me crazy. I don't play like this. If I'm going to go to a flank and take a risk like the Leopard did, I'll sit there and fight. I don't know why the people run away, because, you know, I mean, if you're on your own, that's okay. If there's nobody there to support you. But if one of your teammates is gang-banged, you know, to just leave him and run when you have an opportunity to fight 2v2, you end up fighting, you lose your teammate, it will be 1 tank down, and then you'll be fighting 1v2. You still have no armor in a Leopard. It doesn't matter if you lose your HP early or late. You have no armor anyway. You might as well use whatever HP you have when it matters. Okay. The Leopard went like, I don't know, did he shoot anyone? I'm not saying that, you know, you never achieve anything if you run away. I just find it very frustrating and cowardly. And very often I see we have teammates who are very good players and were killed very early in the battle. And that's because situations like this, the enemy made some pressure, all our teammates ran away, left the one guy who was willing to fight alone to die. So that's a landslide, 10-11-1. I mean, it's just crazy. What is interesting, however, is how much assist I already have. And this is going to be like, yeah, this was a hit. It was a direct hit. There's already more than 3,000 assists, which is crazy for a battle that lasted under 5 minutes. A total landslide. This exactly shows what happens when teammates are actually assisting. Don't just sit there waiting for the SPGs to take out all the enemy tanks, or just don't want to participate in the battle because there's an SPG in the team. Okay, that was an ace tanker. The first one was an ace tanker, wasn't it? If I'm not mistaken. So, ace tanker, bruiser, and confederate. Various things on the left. And it's not so easy to get an ace tanker and an SPG in a battle that lasted for under 5 minutes, but that's what happened. Thanks to the team. No question about it, because they knew what they were doing. So 4,000 assists and about 2,000 something. I can't see. Or is it like 3,000 assists? Damage? That's pretty good. If that was 3,000. Okay, so another one of those battles. You can see so far we have lots of landslides. So now the update 2.0 has taken effect. We have post-update, so the battles pre-update were very fast and furious. Let's see what these battles after the update look like. Still SPGs. My SPG of the month, or 2, the 112A. Was the 212A? I forget what it's called. 112 or 212A. Or is it 212A, isn't it? Okay. I forget what it is. Tier 9 Russian SPG. So this is going to have its hairy moment, this battle, if I remember correctly. At least one hairy moment. So, perfect concentration here. Two stone tanks and about close to 500 damage. And assist already, so this is going to be a victory. I can already tell. Wow. It's like a huge difference when people are assisting. I mean, you start the tanks, so they're trying to repair, they're trying to find their kits, they're using up their kits, and they're annoyed, they get stuck there, they're rethinking what to do, and you have the time to shoot at them. If you don't do it then, you're going to wait until they go, unstunned, because you want to be chivalrous or something, I guess. That's maybe the idea, I don't know. They're waiting for the SPG to kill all the enemies. I don't know, one or the other. Well, if that's what you're going to do, you're letting down your own team. So here's a hairy moment. So there was a heavy tank near our base. I don't know what happened. I missed it. And the enemy light tank somehow got there. And he spotted me. But our heavy tank took him out. And now I'm almost loaded. I want to shoot at the concentration of these tanks. It's a golden opportunity, but the enemy SPG will try to shoot me. What? That's annoying, such bad timing. Nonetheless, I managed to stun someone. My shot didn't go too wide. That was such a golden opportunity to shoot at the concentrated enemy heavies. Somehow, I guess I hadn't gone completely dark when I stopped moving. Okay, that's a potential hit in the back. Okay, and a little bit of assist. There it goes. Over 3,000 assist. Over 4,000 assist. That's amazing. And the battle is 11-2. Okay, so that's the fourth battle that's been going on like this. Okay, this guy I spotted him earlier. Well, I had seen him earlier. I've noticed him earlier. But there were other priorities to shoot at. So 4,400 assist and over 1,000 damage. Could be very well another ace tanker. If it's not ace tanker, it's First class for sure. Okay, he's out of range. He's somewhere here. Oh, he's further back. I saw the trace of hero. He's further back. He's too far away. I can't reach him. So I'm going. Yeah, he's probably going to be killed before I even. Yeah, he's dead. So, definitely first class for sure. Potentially, maybe ace tanker will have some hidden damage. No, it's first class. Okay, it's good enough. Yeah, over 6,000 combined in 4 minutes. That's how long the battle lasted. So that's like a record, must be. Like 6,000 combined in an SPG in 4 minutes. That's not very common. Okay. We're going through these battles like so fast. Games were so quick. There were also losses where somehow one flank folded, and within 2 minutes I was dead in an SPG, because some light tanks got over, killed me before I could fire more than 1 or 2 shots. So there were also battles like that. But these are the battles that had an element of success in them. Let's put it that way. Spiriot, I think it says. No idea what the Russian commentator. They should have subtitles with translated in English. Okay. What the Russian commentators are saying. So I think we have here is a tier 11 tank. I think I'm already encountering here some new tier 11 tanks. So I'm bottom tier in a tier 10. That's such a weird thing. To be bottom tier in a tier 10 vehicle. Is he tracked? What on earth was that? Was he tracked or his engine was damaged? Maybe. That was funny. Strange. Weird. Here it is. KR1. The Russian SPG. It was well-aimed shot. How did I miss that? A Russian cloak of dispersion. That's for sure. If it's not at the very periphery of the periphery, it's outside the shooting circle, the aiming circle. It's outside or just at the border of the shooting circle. My God. That was, I don't know, tier 11 preferential shooting. Well, he wasn't tier 11, and he wasn't Russian. Well, I'm not sure about the Russian cloak of dispersion, but tier 11 cloak of dispersion, new tanks, sometimes they seem to have some funny tweaks when new tanks are being introduced that are not official. This is not a new tank, it's a tier 10 IS-7. So it's not because it's Russian. The other one, that was really weird. Okay, it's tier 10 Gorilla. Okay, we should be able to shoot him. I can't remember if this shot hit. Let me see. Oh, come on. Did I move? If I didn't move in the last minute, by chance, if I didn't jitter, then this is outside the aiming circle. I think something happened. Or maybe my hand jerked. It's my right hand. I don't have very good coordination with my right hand since my injury. Suffered nerve damage. Oh, that was a hit. Yeah, I think somehow I twitched a little bit, which happens when I get nervous. My right hand starts twitching. I have to hold the mouse down sometimes with both hands. It's very frustrating. Since my cycling injury, my right hand is not what it used to be. Okay, it's retreating. Interesting engine sounds. They said they were going to update the engine sounds and make them sound more realistic. Okay, he's dead. He's going to get hit. Yeah. Because you couldn't go back, so you could only go forward. So aiming in front of him would definitely damage him. Not necessarily direct hit, but he would receive damage. He would receive damage. So that's another landslide. So we're at 6-0. Totally amazing how these battles were going. So this is after the update, after update 2.0. Will this time hit? No. Missed the other way. So now the shot landed in front of him. He was behind the rock. But I hit this guy. Okay, here's a new player. What is he doing? What on earth is he doing? That didn't make any difference, my friend. Tier 10 is a new Tier 1. Well, maybe not Tier 1, but maybe Tier 2. The new Tier 2. Also, maybe guys had a stream where they showed, the very first few days of update 2.0. They looked at some of the players and the teams they were playing against, and some of them are Tier 10. They had 1 battle or 3 battles at Tier 10. So they just, so bought the way up to Tier 10 because they could get 1 tech tree for free, got a Tier 10 tank, and then went straight to play for the first time at Tier 10, having played no battles ever before, having not played the game at all. They played the Tier 10. First battle or first 3 battles. That was amazing. Okay, so let's see. Do I have the stats for this one? The stats have changed. I don't like the new way of showing things so much. 2,677 assists and over 3,154 damage. So that was probably first class, I should think. I missed it. Could have been second. First class. And one thing that we don't have anymore is on the third screen where we had the detailed personal details, whatever it's called. We don't have that anymore. We don't have things like how many hits, how many pens, how long the battle lasted. Those were things we would get on the third page in the results. On the third tab, we don't get it anymore. So this is one of those interesting 2 last battles I talked about. So far, all have been landslides, but at least all of them have been victories. Attack in an SPG. Not very likely to happen, but not impossible. At least we can make a brave last stand, as you will see. So no engine sounds for my SPG and anyone who's near me. But you will hear engine sounds from other tanks. I don't know why. This is a replay bug. It wasn't like this during the battle. I didn't notice it. But you see, the guys who are behind me... What? Okay. The guys who are behind me produce no sounds with the engine. So the guy who shot there in the Grom is almost certainly a new player. When you're a new player and you touch your touchpad, if you're playing from a laptop, the touchpad triggers a shot very often. And then tanks are shooting. This used to happen at Tier 1 and Tier 2, but now you see it even at Tier 10, whatever he was, Grom Tier 8. And then we have 2 other players, and Aaron Arnie, so definitely he's an old hand, he's over a year old. So that was a direct hit. Ooh, I took out nearly half his HP, so that was a pen. And the other guy and the Chinese, there was a no, it's a Polish tank 53 TP. It looked kind of potentially okay. I'm not very confident about the Grom. No, it was Chinese, 122 something, had Chinese coming. So 4 tanks went that way. Okay. Let's see what happens here in the gully, because it looks like the enemy has concentrated the force here. Finally, I reloaded a second time. I can take a second shot. And this guy just stopped. Stopped and turned. And he stopped and turned just as I was shooting. Not because I was shooting, even like a fraction of a millisecond before I shot. I could have saved my shot. That was unfortunate. So here I have now three targets. Perfect for bombardier thing. For bombardier shot. But I'm reloading. Okay, more enemy tanks are coming. 4 or 5 enemy tanks. I'm still reloading. And what is the team doing? The guys went on a flanking maneuver. Okay, that was a hit, but not a great one. Went somewhat to the side. The guys went in the outflanking maneuver, missing the action here. And one of them has died. Oh, the no, it wasn't the RNR. Was it the RNR? 122 has died? I'm not sure. So I have a great shot opportunity here. If I could reload, I'm still reloading. Oh no. I'm fairly sure I pressed shoot before I moved. When I say I'm fairly sure, I mean I'm not so sure anymore. My shot went nowhere near where I was aiming. My eye, hand, and brain coordination, definitely my eye-hand coordination is not what it used to be after my hand injury. Okay, that was a better shot. And overall, the control of my right hand has taken a big hit. So they totally destroyed our teammates in the gully, and they're pushing through. I've done 1,300 damage. And if you add up that Grom, that lost half his HP, have about 2,000 damage. Another 400 or so, it's over 2,000 damage. Despite of that, what is the team doing? So finally, our outflanking maneuver had reached enemy base. Unfortunately, all the enemy tanks are here. There's nobody at their enemy base. There are some less known positions, but I don't see them there. They've moved up. They are all here. So the outflanking maneuver outflanked nobody. Oh, outflanked an SPG. The SPG was still there. And that shot missed. And we have just the Jagdtiger is died, and we have a Borask on the hill, is on his own. After the tiger died, I've decided to go here into the gully because I'm no longer safe up there at the top of the hill. And 1 or 2 last shots. What I was thinking at this point is if I can just get one more last shot, that's it. Totally missed. What a waste. Okay. That's it. Basically, we're losing 312. So this is a landslide the other way. First defeat so far, but it's not over till it's over. So I'm preparing for a shotgun shot. If I can reload on time. That was that the Grom that I had? No, Kilana is a different one. Oh, okay, I'm dead now. What is he doing? I think it's like one of those new players who have the touchpad or something. They accidentally, he actually touched his touchpad and shot. Or was he trying to kill me with the last shot? I don't think that was his last shot. I'm not sure. Maybe he was trying to kill me with his last shot, so he fired the penultimate. No, he had one more shot. He totally missed. He must be a new player.
Stand and deliver!
How shall we fuck off, oh lord?
Oh, it's no ordinary rabbit.
I'm afraid Mrs. Vermin Jones appears to have passed on.
Okay. 2 shotgunnings in one game. That was the most unlikely ending. So here I'm waiting for the SPG to kill me. Okay.
Well, that's
so
cast rather a gloom over the evening, hasn't it?
Well, it wasn't that caused a gloom over this battle. 5 kills, 2 of which I had them in an SPG fighting, like brawling. Here it is, brawling face to face. I killed 2 enemies in an SPG, but the rest of the enemy team who had some decent tanks couldn't do that. What can I say? And that player in the double-barreled British tank, how did he manage to survive that battle? I just don't know. How did he manage to get to the base without being killed? What on earth? But I saved the best for last. It was also the last battle, chronologically speaking. All the battles so far have been absolute total landslides, and this definitely looked like another landslide, as you will see. I don't want to say anything at this point, but you just check how this battle is going. Well, definitely something completely different. This was the most unbelievable battle I had in Donna. Recent memory, let's say. I had some crazy battles. This was one of the craziest. Okay, so I'm in a tier 8 American SPG, and we have a tier 7 SPG as well, German GW Panther. Okay, this guy is definitely a new player, because he shouldn't be there with in a heavy tank. So if they're not totally new players, they are fairly new. Maybe they have 100 battles or a few hundred battles, but not more than a few hundred battles. And they likely, don't know, if they have a few hundred battles, then they haven't played heavy tanks or something. Maybe they played only a tier 1, tier 2, don't know. So the GW Panther managed to stun him. The GW Panther is not an arty player. I checked his stats. He mostly plays other tanks, but he was a very good player. And he has actually a very good Wall of Tanks rating. But he's not... Well, he does play SPGs, but less than any of the other classes, if I remember correctly. I checked his account. Whereas I play SPGs more than heavy tanks. And right now I'm playing like almost SPGs after my injury. Almost only. Almost only, let's say. 4 out of 5 battles. I'm playing SPGs. Sometimes I play tank destroyers. If I can play. So that was a start. If I can play passively. So here's the GW Panther. He's also pink. I featured another pink SPG recently. I don't know if that means it's a lady. I don't know what that means. My pink SPG friend is gonna play very, very well. Oh, please, can you do something? There's so many of you there. There are just as many of you as there are enemies. You leave your teammate to die. You can't track him. You can't shoot him. What are you doing? They're all focusing your teammate, and you just sit there and do nothing. Oh my God! You know how this battle is going to go, and you just see this and you know. Now they're going to say, "Oh, we're outnumbered. We're losing this flank." Yeah, of course. If you let one of your teammates die. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 enemies, but we had like at least 5 or 6 here. So both of us are shooting here to support our team, and they're all dead. They're all dead. So they just died. We lost half our team. 3-9. So the score is 3-9. We lost. What was it? We lost 9 teammates. And did I kill him? No, my fellow SPG player killed someone. I think it was a big shot. I think it was a fellow SPG player. GW Panther. Does she have a shot? I can't remember. Yeah, she has a kill. Okay. Oh, 2 kills. She has 2 kills now. Well done. Whoa. Fearsome SPG team mate. The pink SPG is not to be laughed at. Okay, that's an opportunity for shotgunning, but I don't have very good. It's not very. Okay, he's. Oh man. Okay, the light tank took him out. So the light tank is in the bush, and he was spotting for the 2 of us. The other SPG player already shot. I was loaded, but I just loaded, and just as he appeared, and he was already. It was a very difficult shot, and I missed. But luckily, the light tank took him out. Then he ran away to survive. Now, can I reload on time? Please. Come on, gun. Come on, loader. Okay, he's dead.
Your mother was a hamster, and your father smelt of elderberries.
So we're 3-9. We're now 8-11. Incredible, isn't it? So one of our Su-130s has a couple of kills, 2 or 3. The light tank has a kill. So we had 4 tanks for a while fighting their almost like the entire enemy team. Now I want to take a shot at this one, but I don't have the gun depression. Okay, the Su-130 took him out. Amazing, huh? So almost equalized. Would you imagine this? I thought when we were 3v9, I thought when we're losing 3-9, I thought it's over.
I'm afraid Mrs. Vermin Jones appears to have passed on.
And the pink panther is wow. He was if I hadn't killed him, he would have killed him. So we equalized now, 4v4. And we're giving thumbs up to each other. We're commending each other. Everybody's commending everybody. That was an amazing turnaround. So there's an enemy Su-130 here. And we have a Su-130. The both are a bit low on HP. Oh, nearly killed him. Must have loaded HE. Nearly killed our teammate. He can't even... If the light tank doesn't shoot him, the light tank took him out. Oh yeah. Whew. The light tank took out the Su-30. So the enemy still has that one double-barrel British heavy tank that's still surviving. What was it? The chopper. Is it tier 7 or tier 8? Whatever it is, he shouldn't be there. And his teammates pushed, and he should have helped him push. So he's clearly a very inexperienced player. Okay, he's 2 shot, he's 1 shot.
Is such a senseless waste of human life, isn't it?
Wow. This is just so. The light tank sent me a thumbs up. This was just. I mean, that wasn't an HE shot. That was a low splash HE shot. It wasn't like a high splash HE. It was a low explosive. Yeah? But the other SPG had already hit him. I mean, this other SPG player, I've rarely been with another player who was so on the ball. And it was almost like we're shooting telepathically at the same targets. It's just amazing. And he's not, as I said, he's not an SPG player. He just played SPG in this battle. And the other tanks, the other guys are also not SPG players, like the light tank. It doesn't even play light tanks very often. That was a kill. But right there, he didn't expose himself. He waited for me to kill the enemy SPG, so he maintained his HP. Earlier on, he was waiting for us, and look at the maneuvering. He's just incredible. This guy is a purple unicorn. I asked him to send me his replay, but he didn't. My channel is not big enough for him. But he was amazing. It's just, if you watch him, I wish I had his replay. I asked him for his replay, but he didn't give it to me. Unfortunately, he's an amazing player, and we won because of his light tank play. He carried. Nonetheless, 1300 damage and a little bit of assist. 4 kills, though. That wasn't too bad. So, that's your dose of SPG gameplay for today. Some of my very first SPG games after the update. So here's that guy, 9,000 World of Tanks rating. Amazing, huh? That was a light tank player. He played amazingly well. It was just amazing. You'd wish you have such a light tank player in all your battles. So, that was your SPG dose of the day. Thank you for watching.